How are we doing, guys? Leeds TV, Leeds 2, Derby 4, match review of the game, the final match review of the season. It's just unbelievable, really, what we're seeing tonight. But guys, just before we get going, I apologise for the camera quality. It does look like I'm filming from a sauna, but there's no denying that at all. I just want to get this filmed as quickly as possible and wrapped up, if I'm being honest. Just want to get all my thoughts down. There's no real structure to this at all. I'm just going to say what I think, kind of thing. But guys, I do apologise for the camera quality. I've literally just come in from the game. I think it's about 12:30. But guys, apologies for that straight away. Hopefully, you know, I don't know, but that's the last of the laughing matters anyway, other than me filming in a massive sauna. But anyway, guys, look, it's absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? You know, I think secretly, we all thought we'd done the hard work and winning the away game. You know, I think I'd have been happy with a draw in the away game, you know, just going back to Ellen Road. Because I thought that was sort of our safety net, you know, Ellen Road. Our form at Ellen Road pretty much all season's been excellent. But today, Derby punished us in a similar way to how Norwich punished us, you know, early on in the season. You know, we have proven that against sides that can attack, we are a little bit suspects against. You know, we are defensively, we're suspects a little bit. And I have to hold my hands up straight away, guys. Straight away. I'm not going to deny what I said. I said start Berardi over Janssen. Wrong. I was totally wrong. But I can't criticise Bielsa for it because I said the same thing. So there's no criticism of Bielsa from my point of view there, because I said to do the exact same thing. So I can't be hypocritical. But ultimately, it was the wrong decision. You know, Berardi was just too emotional. He was just too emotional. Unfortunately, he was. You know, I don't think he was particularly bad on the night, and he won the ball. You know, it led to the red card. He won the ball. They sort of turned the ball back over into their favour. And he goes rushing in. No reason at all for it. Second yellow. And it changes the whole momentum of the game. You know, I thought we had started to show a little bit of a fight back at that point. But that's later on in the game anyway. But guys, you know, we start the game. The only change is Bamford in for Roof. That was the only change we made. But for me, that was the starting 11 I wanted to see. You know, I think that's the only starting 11 we could have played other than Janssen for Berardi. But look, there was a lot of debate about that. Ultimately, you know, I got it wrong. I said start Berardi. I apologise for that, guys. I got it wrong. I'll, you know, totally admit to that. And yeah, you know, the margins went against us from that point of view. But didn't go against us. Look, we didn't deserve to go through. It's quite simple as that. You know, we finished 6 points adrift for second. We conceded 4 goals at home in our home leg of the playoff semi-final. We've just not been quite ready for it. You know, we've just not quite had that quality. Okay, we've had a little bit of bad luck with injuries, suspensions, etc., etc. Now, it's played its part, but ultimately, when you finish so far adrift, finish the season the way we have done, the whole second half of the season hasn't really been good enough. We've not been ready, you know, and that doesn't mean all's over. I'm not a big believer in that at all. You know, I definitely don't feel that. But in terms of the game itself, I'm getting a bit carried away here. You know, I do apologise. It is late at night. It's just pretty much anything that comes into my head, I'm just saying pretty much at the moment. But the game itself, you know, we don't start the game well. Let's be honest, we do not start the game well at all. You know, we look absolutely nervous as I don't know what. Absolutely so nervous. Confidence looks completely gone. Everything we're trying to do is... We just didn't like the Marcelo Bielsa team in that first half. Everything was being rushed. We were hoofing the ball at the pitch. We weren't taking any responsibility. No one was taking any responsibility, really, for those first 10-15 minutes. I just felt, if we just get through that first kind of spell at 0-0, you know, because I always felt Derby would come at us, but we very much, I felt, played it into their hands in the first 10-15 minutes. Not to say Derby weren't excellent tonight, because they were excellent tonight, you know, in the way they've gone about that game. We can't deny that at all. Guys, I apologise if that is winding any of you up, but I have to be honest, Derby were excellent tonight, and we have played a lot of it into their hands as well, but ultimately we haven't deserved to go through. But yeah, look, first 15-20 minutes, I'm looking at it and thinking this is nowhere near good enough. You know, we're absolutely a million miles off it. You know, compared to the way we... You know, of course, okay, Derby away, we didn't start the game well. We didn't start the game well on Saturday, but we got over it. We got over that first 10-minute spell. You know, I think Forshaw came off injured, Shackleton came on. We got over that bad spell. Today, we never really did. You know, we got the goal. We started to look a little bit better in that first half. But it always felt, you know, we never looked truly ourselves. I don't think we ever looked in real danger for the first 40 minutes, but I didn't feel we looked ourselves. I thought it could have been a daft moment. We always look like making a daft mistake at the back from the off, really. We look absolutely so reckless. every single time we tried to clear the ball, it was sort of keeping it in play. It's just so many basics today. Tonight even, and then the goal happens. Look, I've not even watched any of the goals back, so if I do get some of the analysis wrong on this, I apologise. But it's a hopeful ball up. Jack Marriot's come on, and Jack Marriot, I think Liam Cooper's just underestimated Jack Marriot's pace. He's sort of, and of course Kiko Casilla's come rushing out of his goal. He's sort of got a meeting between Cooper and Casilla. Cooper's sort of seeing Jack Marriot just come past his shoulder there and thought, I need to make a decision here because Jack Marriot's getting past me. He's going to potentially get between me and Kiko Casilla. Unfortunately, they both think the same thing. They both go for the ball from what I can see. They both sort of take each other out. I think they both land on the floor, and then Jack Marriot's got to tap him. And it's a good piece of movement off Jack Marriot. He's created that panic. He's seen the way they've had a couple of moments like that earlier on in the game, and took advantage of that situation. And in the second half, it's totally unacceptable. It's totally unacceptable how we start our second half, and ultimately that is what's cost us the tie. The way we start those first 15 minutes, we go 3-1 down. It's absolutely, it's just a crazy second half. It's crazy. I think Bielsa alluded to it himself, saying we lost control. Quite simply, Derby were completely nussily outplaying us, and we just completely lost control of it. But when we get it back to 3-2 even, Dallas scores, and but guys, don't get at all misled by me laughing there. It's just the way I cope with situations like that. I've seen over the years so many Leeds United disappointments. I just don't even feel shocked anymore, to be honest. It's absolutely heartbroken me, guys. And if it does come across, I don't care. The little nervous laughs in between that's absolutely nothing to do. It's just the way I cope with bad things, really. It's just we get back to 3-2 anyway. We look like we could get this to 3-3. We could even do this in sort of normal time. And then the Berardi sending off changes things. We did start to create chances at 3-2 and looked like we were going to get it back level. I think we did have Derby on the back foot, albeit temporarily for about 15-20 minute spell. Berardi, unfortunately, it's ridiculous. It is quite frankly ridiculous. You have to keep your temper in these games. He's so fired up. The first tackle's good. He goes back in, and when you run a yellow card, you just can't do that. Unfortunately, you just can't do it. And I love Berra, and it really hurts that it's Berra's red card that's cost us. At the end of the day, he's had a really solid season whenever he's been asked to play across the back. Okay, he's not been one of the main defenders, but unfortunately, those kind of moments happen, and I say it happens, but it's all self-inflicted things like that. Not to say Derby weren't good, but we have gifted them a lot of opportunities, over the two legs and that lot, and of course to get the fourth goal, fantastic finish, and from that point we just never really looked like getting back into it. We never really created that last chance you think you get at the end of the game. We didn't create it, and ultimately this is what I mean. We've not been ready for it. Ultimately, I think everyone's made mistakes the last couple of weeks. Bielsa, as much as I love Marcelo Bielsa, and I think he's done an excellent job this season, he's given this club energy again. I think the fans enjoy coming to Ellen Road again. Of course, as much as tonight's been disappointing, we can't deny what has happened over the last 9 months. Fans enjoy coming to Ellen Road again. We have to remember that, at the end of the day, before we get too emotionally caught up in things, we have to remember that but mistakes have been made. I think the lack of rotation when we've had 3 games in a week has ultimately come back to haunt us. Players look tired, I've got to be honest. After the first hour away from home, the players started looking tired. From today, from pretty much the second half onwards, players look tired. Even Luke Ayling, probably one of our most energetic players, started to look tired towards the end of the game. And ultimately, I think that's a learning process, I think, maybe for Bielsa. Not a learning process, a learning curve about this league. And that's the only thing. I think just trust rotation a little bit more. I'm not talking massive changes. That's the main thing here. We don't need to make big, massive changes. We're not quite being ready. It's just little tiny changes that need to be made in some recruitment. I certainly start with, and I don't really want to talk too much about Patrick Bamford's performance because it's just going to wind me up, because I've got to be honest, there was nothing there, to be honest, today of Patrick Bamford. After the embarrassment of the suspension against Villa, you expect at least to break out of a jog, and that's all Bamford played that today. It was one pace, it was jogging, there was no pressing. You know, look at the fourth goal. Look at that fourth goal and just watch Patrick Bamford. Watch Patrick Bamford trying to... It's just... words fail me. Words actually do fail me on that fourth goal. And to be honest with you, I don't like saying knee-jerk things, but I'd just sell Bamford in the summer. You know, I can't accept what Patrick Bamford produced tonight. The other players made little mistakes in that lot. They did make mistakes, let's be honest. The two centre-backs made mistakes. Liam Cooper made mistakes. Berardi made mistakes. Garcia made mistakes. But I can't understand, you know, the way Bamford played tonight. You know, I don't like making knee-jerk comments like that. But to be honest, it's just totally and utterly unacceptable. When you can't even break out of a jog and you're coming back from a suspension, I can't accept that. I'm sorry, I just can't accept that. You know, I'd love to see Patrick Bamford really respond to this in the summer. He has got quality. He is technically a really gifted footballer, and it's such a shame. I don't know. I just don't think the desire's there. I don't like saying things like this. I'm not a big person for saying like we bottled this, we did this, and I don't like saying things like that. But I have to say what I saw tonight. I just didn't see the work rate. I just didn't see it at all. You know, I didn't see the pressing. You know, I know of course he hasn't maybe got as much energy as a Kemal Roof. He hasn't got as much pace as a Kemal Roof. But you at least want to see a bit of work rate. You at least want to see him win one or two headers, flick-ons, get in front of his defender a couple of times, you know, turn the defender, etc., etc. We just didn't see any of that tonight. And we know Patrick Bamford's got quality. We've seen that in other games. But unfortunately, if his attitude isn't there, which I'm sorry, I think it is attitude. I have to be honest, I think it is attitude. I think the fact Bielsa takes him off with 15 minutes to go says a lot for me. It does say a lot. You know, what Bielsa thought of that performance. Sorry, it might have been 10 minutes to go to put on Izzy Brown, who's made one appearance prior to tonight. One appearance, and he's come on for, you know, a £7 million striker. And I don't. Bamford's not the scapegoat tonight. Let's make no mistakes about it. You know, Bamford's probably the most obvious target, but there were other factors. You know, I mentioned Berardi's rent card, which is absolutely ridiculous. Casilla and Cooper's mix-up, probably more Casilla. There was a lot of things that just went wrong tonight. You know, it's not a case of one thing went wrong, but for me, I look at Bamford's performance and I just think that's totally unacceptable. And I think I've always felt we probably do need, you know, a more consistent striker, another striker option. For me, I'm just looking at Patrick Bamford's performance tonight and just the last couple of performances, and I'm thinking that's just totally not acceptable. To be honest with you, I don't want to be too rash, but that's just my feeling on that. But yeah, you look at the impact of the result. The main thing for me is, can we keep Marcelo Bielsa? Hopefully we can. I don't know, to be honest. His words were he would consider an offer, you know, off ourselves if, presumably, we do make one. And I'm pretty sure we are going to make one, but I don't know. I don't really like the use of the word consider. Maybe I've misread it. I've not entirely read into that. You know, I don't think it's a time to start talking about that straight after the game. But at the end of the day, if Marcelo Bielsa is having doubts about staying, we need that resolved as quickly as possible. But hopefully Bielsa stays. That is the main thing out of everything. You know, in terms of consistency, bouncing back from this, keeping Bielsa, keeping the whole way this team has been coached for the last 12 months. Obviously, I think the only real player who I think is going to attract Premier League interest is probably KP, Calvin Phillips. Looking at the other players, not because of ability, we've got some fantastically, wonderfully talented players, but I think age-wise, it's probably only Calvin Phillips is going to be seriously attracting Premier League interest. I might be wrong on that, but that's all I can see now. You know, I certainly think the way we finished the season. So, I'd like to think that we're not going to get too affected in the summer. That might be famous last words kind of thing. But for me, it's all about the recruitment now. You know, we have to look at teams that have suffered disappointment in the past. You know, you look at Liverpool, England last year. You know, they bounced back quickly. They looked at what they did right. You know, Liverpool's probably the main example. You know, when they lost the Champions League final last year, look, it's different circumstances. I know all that, etc., etc. But looked at what they did well. You know, and they improved those little areas where they were having a little bit of doubts. You know, the goalkeeper situation, the centre midfield. But for us, it might be slightly different situations. But just smart recruitment, you know, different types of signing, you know, and just being more aggressive in the transfer market. You know, not letting Dan James get to the last day of the season. Just be proactive in the transfer market. Try and get all our signings done in July. A nice balanced pre-season where we know, you know, what the personnel is going to be. Roughly 90-95% of the personnel. Yeah, that's just what I'm looking at. Of course, probably now is not the time to talk about that, but that's the thing. That's why I'm not too I am downbeat, but I'm thinking as long as we keep Bielsa, as long as we can keep KP, and we can just build now. Because we have got a good starting 11. You look at the starting 11, we've got some quality players in this team. Pablo Hernandez for one, Mateus Click, Luke Ayling, Liam Cooper, Pontus Janssen, Calvin Phillips, as I mentioned before, Tyler Roberts is to come back in, Kemal Roof. We have got quality in this team. We just need other additions. You know, I think we have to go with a bigger squad now. Absolutely, 100% have to go with a bigger squad now. You know, I think Bielsa wants to keep it down to 20 players, but we have to go to 22, 23 players, rotate things a little bit more. And I think Bielsa will learn from this. Look, Pep Guardiola, probably the greatest manager of all time, had a poor first season in England. Jurgen Klopp had a poor first season in England. The reason I use them as examples, Mauricio Pochettino had a poor first season at Spurs. The reason I use that example is they're all trying to play the same way as Bielsa, trying to play on the front foot, high energy, and they learned, you know, after a year that, you know what, we've got to change the way we did things in other countries or other teams. It's not quite the same here. And certainly in the Championship, when you're playing so many games, you have to be really willing to rotate. You have to be considering the fitness. As much as Bielsa is a believer in, you train the players harder, I'm not a big believer in that myself either. You know, I can't question Bielsa too much, because at the end of the day, he's done absolute wonders for this football club, and that has to be remembered. This has been a season of progress, and give me losing in the playoff semi-final every day of the week over finishing 14th or 15th in an absolutely nothing season of just boredom like we've had season upon season upon season, other than Gary Monk's 16-17 season where we didn't even make the playoffs. So, you know, we have to remember this is a season of progress, but it's about pushing on now. The last couple of weeks have been pretty horrendous. The last couple of months have been pretty horrendous. We have got to push on now. We've got to... I agree with being loyal to some players, but we've got to make some changes. We've got to look at the way we recruit certain players. We've got to bring in that winger. We've got to bring in that striker for me, and just change things. Just little changes. 2 or 3 signings. You put him. Let's look at an Ollie McBurney. You put Ollie McBurney in this team. The way he's played for Swansea this season, he plays every game. We have to remember Kemal Roof, Patrick Bamford, they're both injury-prone strikers. Yeah, we probably might even push to second. It's just about making those little changes, like Liverpool did with Alisson Becker coming in, Fabinho. They just pushed them that extra little level. Yeah, City did the same thing. Okay, it's different with Leeds. I get it, it's different with Leeds, but it's the same kind of principle. Comparatively speaking, we do have to change things a little bit in the transfer market. But guys, I've been rambling. I've just said what I thought. I apologise for the Patrick Bamford thing. Came across a bit aggressive, but I do believe he's a talented footballer. And if he is going to get another season, I just feel with the way Marcel Bielsa took Bamford off, I'm not so sure on that. You know, I'm a full believer in marching on together, etc., getting behind the players. But I didn't feel there was the full determination of Patrick Bamford tonight. You know, when you've been suspended, I just didn't feel that tonight. And I'm sorry I had to pick him out. But when you had the £7 million signing, I just wanted more effort than that tonight. I just wanted to see more. And look, his goal scoring record's fine. He's done okay for us. But I just can't accept that tonight. And maybe I've been a bit rash. I don't know. But I probably made a complete fool of myself. But guys, make sure you let us know in the comments down below. Fair play to Derby. You know, some absolutely top Derby vloggers out there. We've met all 3 very big Derby vloggers as well. Derby County Fan TV, Alex Allen, Kian Malley, who's all 3 have been on Conor's videos. Make sure you check those out as well. I've not checked out their vlogs and all, but fair play. You know, at the end of the day, we've not done enough. Derby have been the better team on the day. But we go again, guys. We go again. You know, we need a couple of weeks off. You know, get into the pre-season, and then just see where we go from there. You know, at the end of the day, I'm not used to disappointment from this football club. I just get over it. To be honest, it breaks my heart. But at the end of the day, all I can do is laugh it off. If it comes across as not being very serious in this video, that's not at all the case. I tend to laugh things off more than anything. You know, when there's disappointment. At the end of the day, it is just football, isn't it? But I don't know. Oh, guys, I don't know. But just to finish off, I want to say an absolutely massive thank you to all of you guys out there. You know, the support you've shown us this season has been absolutely incredible. You know, whether it's been a win, a loss, a draw, whether we've tried different types of video, you've always given us advice, you've always backed us, you've always shown us unbelievable support. And to be honest, it's been an absolute honour to produce content for you guys. It has been an honour for all 5 of us. Myself, Conor, Joe, Tash, Claudio. It's been an absolute honour, guys. You know, we went to the Football Blogging Awards last week. It was absolutely incredible getting nominated for that, and we wouldn't have got to this point without you guys. I just want to shout out Liam Horsley, Barkers, Mixonetti. There's so many of you guys to shout out, but in particular some of the personal one-to-one support you've shown us. You know, if it's messaging us when we've been a bit down, saying cheer up or something, if it's been helping us get to games and that lot, you've just been absolutely incredible this season. And I'm not just saying this. It's just come to me and I thought we have to thank you guys. You know, the support, and just for myself, the whole of the team. I'm sure Joe and Conor will be saying the same things as well. It's absolutely incredible the support you've shown us, and you don't deserve it, guys. We don't deserve it. You know the way it's happened. You know, at the end of the day, we finished third, and then we're just completely. I don't know, guys. It is what it is, guys. And I'm going to leave it there. 21 minutes, last match review of the season. But guys, we will be back. No matter what happens with Leeds, no matter what horrendous summer we might have coming up, I don't know, we will be back with content next season. We're going to be doing plenty of content during the pre-season as well. Also met as well today Benjamin Bloom, who is a Ipswich fan. You probably have heard of him before. Vlogs and just goes as a neutral to a lot of games. He was as a neutral tonight. I had a good chat with him at half time. Make sure you check out Benjamin Bloom as well, guys. But yeah, ultimate disappointment tonight, guys. But I'll leave it there, guys. Always TV, marching on together. See you later, guys.